Listen to me, because this might be the moment everything changes for you. Every morning, you're handed two invisible choices, purpose or pressure, and most people don't even realize which one they pick. But today, you will hear our 6 power-packed truths that will shift the way you rise, the way you move, and the way you live. Your morning energy is your life's direction. Let's expand this truth, strip it down, and rebuild it into something. There's something magnetic about a person who wakes up with intention. They don't move faster, they move deeper. They don't chase approval, they chase alignment. They're not controlled by the noise of the world. They create their own internal soundtrack. Purpose gives you a presence. People feel it when you walk into a room. They hear it in your voice. They see it in the way you commit. Pressure loves to make you believe that you must have everything sorted before you take your first step, that you must be confident before you commit, that you must be perfect before you try. But that's the lie that traps millions of people in the same place year after year. Confidence doesn't magically appear from nowhere. It grows from doing. It grows from trying. It grows from showing up when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or uncertain. Commitment is what builds confidence, not the other way around. When you choose purpose, you're not choosing certainty, you're choosing direction. You're not choosing fearlessness, you're choosing courage. And courage simply means you're willing to take a step even while fear walks beside you. There's a reason purpose feels quieter. It asks you to trust yourself. Pressure is easier because it tells you what to fear, what to chase, what to worry about. It gives you a script, an exhausting one, but a script nonetheless. Purpose doesn't hand you a script, it hands you a mirror. It asks you who you want to be, not who the world expects you to be. And that question is powerful because it forces honesty, it forces clarity. When you choose purpose, you stop living from outside validation and start living from inner alignment. You stop running after approval and start moving toward truth. And truth, your truth, has a strength pressure can never replicate. Think about how often pressure disguises itself as responsibility. You tell yourself, you have to do more, be more, achieve more, faster, stronger, better. And yes, ambition is beautiful. But pressure builds ambition on panic. Purpose builds ambition on meaning. Pressure wants you to outrun everyone. Purpose wants you to outrun yesterday's version of you. Pressure makes your dreams feel like burdens. Purpose makes your dreams feel like promises. That shift changes everything, your mindset, your energy, your pace, your peace. When you chase pressure, you burn out. When you chase purpose, you evolve. So many people don't start because they're waiting for the loud, dramatic moment, the lightning strike of motivation. But the truth is, purpose doesn't arrive like lightning. It arrives like sunrise, quietly, steadily, unapologetically. It rises every single day, whether you acknowledge it or not. And the moment you decide to follow that small, steady inner pull, even if it's just a whisper, you begin rewriting your life. Start messy, start unsure, start scared, but start with intention. Because every time you choose purpose over pressure, you strengthen a part of yourself that used to shrink. You build a resilience that doesn't break under noise. You create a foundation that doesn't collapse under chaos. You deserve a life that's guided by conviction, not panic. A life where you move because you are led, not because you are chased. A life where your values, not your fears, set your direction. Wake up with the willingness to choose purpose intentionally. Let it shape your habits, your thoughts, your expectations, your standards. Let it remind you that pressure does not define you, your choices do. And when you choose purpose, even imperfectly, you reclaim your power. You reclaim your voice. You reclaim your path. Pressure can only control you when you surrender without realizing it. But once you become aware of the difference, once you consciously choose that quiet, grounded, meaningful direction, pressure loses its grip. And when you rise each morning choosing purpose over pressure, you build a life that reflects your strength, not your fear, and that is the kind of life that transforms you from the inside out. You know exactly what you're capable of, yet somehow you keep negotiating with your own greatness. You bargain with your potential as if it's optional, as if your dreams will politely wait in the corner until you feel ready. But greatness has never belonged to the people who felt ready. It belongs to the people who chose to rise while they were terrified, uncertain, exhausted, or imperfect. Every time you hesitate, you dim a power that was never meant to be small. And deep down you know it. You feel the tension between who you are and who you could be. That tension is not a warning sign. It's an invitation to stop shrinking, stop stalling, stop selling yourself short, and finally step into the version of you that doesn't apologize for wanting more. You talk yourself out of opportunities because you're waiting for a perfect moment, one where you'll magically feel confident, prepared, unstoppable. But that moment isn't coming. Confidence is not a prerequisite, it's a result. It grows through repetition, it builds through action, it strengthens through every decision you make to show up instead of sit out. When you keep negotiating with yourself, telling yourself, later, maybe, when things calm down, you're not delaying success, you're delaying evolution. You're freezing your potential in place while the world keeps moving. And the truth is, the more you delay, the heavier the regret becomes. The more you procrastinate, the louder your doubts grow. But the moment you stop negotiating and simply step forward, even clumsily, your confidence starts to rise to meet you. You have dreams that scare you for a reason. They're meant to stretch you, challenge you, transform you. But what most people never admit is that the negotiation doesn't just come from fear, it comes from familiarity. Even when your comfort zone is suffocating, it's still familiar. And humans cling to what they recognize, even when it limits them. That negotiation inside you is the tug of war between safety and growth. Safety whispers, stay where it's predictable. Growth whispers, come see who you could be. When you choose safety every time, you reinforce a version of yourself that stays small. But when you choose growth, even once, you set a new standard. You rewrite the boundaries of what's possible. You teach your mind a new truth, that you can survive discomfort and rise through it. And let's be honest, you already know how capable you are. You've had moments where your strength surprised you, where your resilience showed up out of nowhere, where you delivered, performed, pushed, created, succeeded in ways even you didn't expect. Those moments weren't accidents. They were glimpses of the real you, unfiltered, untamed, undeniable. But instead of building on those moments, you negotiate them away. You convince yourself they were flukes, exceptions, strokes of luck. Yet deep inside, you know they were proof. Proof of what happens when you stop overthinking and start believing. Proof of what you can do when you stop talking yourself out of your own brilliance. Greatness is not a personality trait. It's a practice. It's built in the moments when you choose commitment over convenience, when you choose effort over excuses, when you choose to take the step even when it feels like your legs are shaking. You don't become great by avoiding resistance. You become great by facing it, by letting it sharpen you, by allowing it to build your strength the way fire builds steel. The people you admire, the ones who inspire you, the ones who move through the world with impact and certainty, they're not better than you. They're not luckier than you. They simply made a decision. You keep postponing. They stopped negotiating with themselves. They chose to rise even when they didn't feel ready. That's the only difference. So stop shrinking to fit a version of you that doesn't even match your soul anymore. Stop treating your potential like a side project. Stop letting fear negotiate away your future. You owe yourself more than hesitation. You owe yourself courage. You owe yourself movement. You owe yourself the life you keep imagining when no one is watching. Step into it, not when you feel ready, but because you're done letting pressure, excuses, or uncertainty dictate your path. Every time you choose growth, you rewrite your story. Every time you choose purpose, you strengthen your identity. Every time you choose action, you inch closer to the life you're meant to live. And when you finally stop negotiating with your greatness, you unlock a version of yourself that doesn't just dream of power, she walks in it. Pressure drains you. Purpose drives you. And if you truly let that sink in, it can change the entire architecture of your life. Pressure makes everything feel heavy. Your dreams, your deadlines, your responsibilities, your expectations. It turns life into a race you never signed up for. It makes you believe you're always behind, always lacking, always fighting to prove something. But purpose doesn't weigh you down. Purpose energizes you. It doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. It doesn't push you toward burnout, it pulls you toward alignment. The moment you choose purpose over pressure, you stop moving from fear and start moving from meaning. And that shift is the foundation of your power. Pressure wants you to chase validation, approval, applause. It wants you to constantly look outside yourself for proof that you're worthy. That's why it's exhausting. You're running without rest, trying to earn what already belongs to you. Pressure tells you be more, do more, prove more. But purpose whispers, be true, be steady, be willing. Purpose reminds you that you don't need the world to see your worth before you begin. You just need to believe in the direction you're heading. When you move with purpose, your energy becomes intentional. Your decisions become grounded. Your ambition becomes sustainable. You stop sprinting toward a finish line someone else created and start walking the path designed for you. Pressure feeds off comparison. It makes you look left and right, measuring yourself against timelines, accomplishments, status, success. It convinces you that if you're not moving as fast as everyone else, you're failing. But comparison is a thief. It steals joy, clarity, and self-respect. Purpose doesn't compare. Purpose aligns. It brings you back to your own life, your own growth, your own rhythm. When you live in purpose, you finally understand that your journey is not meant to match anyone else's. You begin to appreciate timing, patience, evolution. You give yourself grace because you're no longer fighting to keep up. You're fighting to stay true. Pressure wants perfection. It expects flawless execution, immediate results, and zero mistakes. And when you inevitably fall short, pressure turns harsh. It beats you down with criticism, guilt, and fear. Purpose, on the other hand, wants progress. It wants effort. It wants courage. Purpose is patient with your imperfections because it understands that growth is messy. It understands that failure is feedback. It understands that every misstep is shaping you into someone wiser, stronger, and more capable. When you choose purpose, you begin to embrace the process instead of obsess over the outcome. You learn to honor your evolution instead of punishing yourself for not being finished. And here's what most people never realize. Pressure makes you chase a life that looks good. Purpose makes you build a life that feels good. There is a huge difference between the two. Pressure pushes you toward expectations, career milestones, income goals, external success, achievements that impress others. But purpose pushes you toward fulfillment, peace, impact, alignment, authenticity. One empties you, the other replenishes you. A life built on pressure will always feel like a performance. A life built on purpose feels like home. When you wake up driven by something meaningful, something internal, something rooted in your truth, you move through the world with a different kind of confidence. The quiet kind, the steady kind, the unshakable kind. So tomorrow morning, choose the path that fuels you, not the one that drains you. Don't wake up trying to be perfect. Wake up trying to be real. Don't wake up trying to impress. Wake up trying to evolve. Don't wake up chasing approval. Wake up chasing growth. You deserve to live a life where you feel empowered, not pressured. You deserve to rise for something that actually matters to your soul. And that starts with one conscious choice, to let purpose set the pace. Once you do, you'll notice your energy shift, your mindset shift, your priorities shift. You'll begin to recognize the power you've had all along, the power to choose what drives you, what shapes you, what defines you. And when you finally choose purpose over pressure, you stop surviving your days and you start leading your life with strength, clarity, and unstoppable inner power. Enough. That word carries a force most people underestimate. It's not loud, but it's powerful. It's the turning point in every transformation, every breakthrough, every moment when a person finally steps out of the life they've been tolerating and into the life they're meant to create. When you sigh enough, you're not giving up, you're rising up. You're drawing a line between the version of you that lived on autopilot and the version of you who chooses intention over chaos, alignment over overwhelm, purpose over pressure. Most people never reach that moment because they're too busy surviving. But survival isn't living, survival isn't fulfillment. It starts with asking, is this how I want to live? Or is this just how I've been living? Awareness cracks the door open. Enough pushes it wide. Fear has been setting your pace for far too long. It's been making your choices, shaping your routines, rewriting your dreams in smaller, safer handwriting. But fear's job is to preserve the version of you that already exists. Purpose's job is to push you toward the version of you that's waiting to be born. When you sigh enough, you stop letting fear drive the car. You stop letting doubt dictate your limits. You stop letting uncertainty convince you to shrink. You don't have to know every next step. You don't need a perfectly mapped out plan. You just need a willingness to move, even while trembling. Saying enough doesn't mean you stop feeling fear. It means fear stops making your decisions. And that is a seismic shift in your personal power. And let's talk about shrinking, because you've been doing that silently for years. You've been dimming your ideas, your opinions, your voice, your dreams just to make other people comfortable. You've been shrinking your ambition because you didn't want to look too bold, too loud, too driven. You've been shrinking your potential because you feared judgment, failure, misunderstanding. But here's the truth. You were never meant to fit into small spaces. You were never meant to twist yourself into shapes that pleased everyone except you. Saying enough means you stop contorting yourself into someone else's expectations. You stop minimizing your own magic. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You rise to your true size, and that alone can change the entire direction of your life. When you finally say enough, you stop seeking permission. You stop waiting for validation. You stop hoping someone will come along and tell you it's your turn. You realize it has always been your turn. You just weren't claiming it. The dreams you've been carrying aren't accidents. They weren't placed in you by mistake. They're signals, they're assignments. They're reminders of who you are meant to become. But they will not manifest through pressure, perfection, or panic. They manifest through purpose, through intention, through the courage to take one small step in the direction of something that lights you up instead of something that burns you out. When you sigh enough, you give yourself the green light. You stop waiting. You begin building. So tomorrow morning, when your eyes open, you will stand at a crossroads. One path leads to the same old cycle: stress, doubt, chaos, pressure. The other path leads to clarity, intention, alignment, purpose. You don't need a miracle to choose the second path. You just need a moment of truth, a moment where you decide, I am done living in survival mode. I am done letting fear dictate my life. I am done shrinking for anyone, including the old version of me. That moment is your awakening. That moment is your turning point. And once you cross it, you don't go back. Because now you know the difference between living by pressure and living by purpose. And when you rise each morning declaring enough, you step in